Hello YouTube, Beanie from the bedroom here with this. Uh-oh. Be nice if I turned off the tuner. So it has some sound. was growing up, I had different instruments. You know, I had my first was a drum set at age 7. My second was an acoustic classical guitar at age 8, and those I remember because the drum set was for Christmas, the guitar was for my birthday, and I've already gone through the story of that. But after that, my dad had some kind of sickness that no one knew about, and he worked for a company that had government contracts, so we never knew what he did. He wasn't allowed to say what he did, but they would send him here or there, travel. And he came home from a trip, and he was sick, and they thought he was going to die, and they put him in a hospital. And he was in a hospital for 2 weeks, and they didn't know what had happened to him. And all of a sudden, he just recovered, and they let him go home. You know, they signed him out of the hospital, and he was fine. That ordeal did get him to quit smoking, which was a plus, because he never smoked another cigarette again in his life. And while he was in the hospital for 2 weeks, he had a roommate, and his name was Pio, and he was a musician, a professional musician, and we got to know him. And he had gotten out of the hospital. While in the hospital, he had a little ukulele, and he would play the ukulele. And my dad would sing along, would recognize all the songs he would play, and he would sing along. And they would have like an audience of nurses and doctors and people that could get up and walk from their bed and come watch them perform in the room. So Pio had invited us over to his house after school, because he saw I was interested in the ukulele. I was interested in any instrument. So we went to his house, and he had a drum set, he had a banjo from 1919, he had 2 ukuleles that had a pickup built into it with a volume knob. And he just had a little bit of everything. His whole living room was just like a studio jam room. And he was teaching me how to play things on a 4-string ukulele. And I liked it, but I was like looking around, hoping he had some kind of a guitar hanging. I don't remember if I ever saw a guitar. And I would have loved to get behind the drum set, but I didn't, you know, I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to, you know, be impolite. And I remember my mom saying, you know, be on your best behavior. And he was showing me stuff on the ukulele. And he gave me this banjo. So I had gotten a banjo from him. Somehow I had gotten a mandolin. I don't remember how. And I think I also had like a trumpet at one time, and you know, the harmonica, the whistle that goes, you know, kind of thing. And so when I was, you know, I didn't know, so I would, you know, I would look at how to play different instruments, like see if I could find something on TV, someone playing an instrument, you know. And what was it, that country show, Hee Haw. Believe it or not, you'd be lucky if you could find it, because I lived in New York, which I would never go back to New York again. They're having a high school reunion, and I'm being asked, are you going to the high school reunion? And I'm like, sadly enough, I have no intentions on ever going back to New York again unless it's an emergency. Fortunately for me, I have a lot of my friends that I grew up with, I went to school with from the neighborhood, that come down here to visit me. So So I would, I would see, you get someone on there, you get the Rory Clark, which was a monster player. And anything he'd done, even like when he was on The Odd Couple, playing his acoustic guitar to Spanish music, I was like, wow. So you would see the little mandolin play. And that's how I learned how to really pick fast, which kind of worked out because as I'm playing the mandolin, that and having learned that Peter Frampton played with the medium jazz picks, which is, as soon as I heard that, I went out and I bought Fender medium jazz picks. And while I was in my band, I started, well, even before that, in the 90s, I started drilling holes in the picks so that when your hand is sweaty or something, it wouldn't slip out. I would lose the pick. And then I have a couple in, like everyone else, in the pick guard and grab it. So yeah, between the little pick and also, I don't remember what the pick was, but this was, I'm talking about the 70s is when I started playing with the medium, the medium jazz picks. And I still had that ability to, for a mandolin. And my brother-in-law that was Greek, he would pick it up and he would start doing it. The same thing like that. So that's where I got my picking thing, my ability to do that. And I remember, like one of my only 3 lessons, my teacher, that's now one of my best friends, he said, oh, put it like that, rest it, and try to play it. I couldn't do it because I was so, as a teenager, so used to doing it with just, the 2 fingers and playing it. I just stuck with that. So, and you could tell by the way my finger turns, my finger is not straight. It turns on an angle. That besides the arthritis in my hands. But yeah, the finger doesn't go straight after, like I said, I've been playing like this since I was a kid. And I remember even just holding the pick, always holding the pick like that, never being taught how to hold the pick, and always just held it like that. And playing with the big fat picks like this here. I keep this one because I'm, hung out with Eddie Van Halen, and I keep that pick because it reminds me of his guitar. I used to start playing with these, and then when I heard about Frampton, I got the medium jazz picks, and that was it. I could never pick up a big pick again, and even when I try to play with a big pick, I can't play as well as with these here. But yeah, it's one of the things that us guitar players have to deal with is that, and the fact that playing. I told you I had a story. I started with a ping pong ball and got to a tennis ball to get my reach. And one day, as I'm walking at that time with my girlfriend, now my wife, she was holding my pinky, and I said, "Be careful for that pinky." And she goes, "What?" And wrenched it. And it's and she hates it that I bring that story up, but it's never been the same again. And I can't get that. I can't get that. I could stretch it out, but I can't get it to operate the way I want to. It's like a stiff finger. The only thing I can get to do with that is either like that, or do the like that kind of thing. Other than that, I can't. And I remember Glenn Campbell saying, you've got use all 4 fingers with the thumb behind the neck and playing. And I used to always do that and have that stretch, and then that happened. But this is, only guitar players, all guitar players would understand stuff like that. Stuff with the finger, stuff with the wrist, stuff with, I had 5 surgeries on my shoulder. So every time after every surgery, I would put a pillow under my arm and just let it heal like that, because I was afraid Like I heard Les Paul, he had a car accident and they broke his arm and he set the arm so he could still play the guitar. So, you know, unfortunately I can't play standing up now because it's not there, but I have enough room where I could play with the strap, you know, like this. And that's how I always play now. I can't play standing up. My shoulder doesn't, I don't have enough reach to get over it at a total and a total reversal. So, yeah, that's, you know, one of the things that only guitar players would understand. The same thing with, you know, having a box up there full of pedals, having another box full of chords, having, not a toolbox, but I have this, the same company that I wear the shirts for my brother-in-law from, you know, full of stuff. I've got my bag of tools. This was the actual bag I had gotten from Bob Sperzel that makes the Sperzel tuners, or you might say Spurzels. But yeah, he sent me the pins when I lost one, so he sent me a whole bunch of pins and a set at one time. And then I've got, you know, got my sanding sponge in here when the frets are sharp. Got my cleaning cords. I've got, oh, what everyone else has. Extra pick guards that you've either taken off of guitars. And the bag of knobs. I've got so many knobs in here because I would get a guitar and not like the knobs for whatever reason, and it's just me. And then I have to change the knobs. And then whatever knobs I put on, then I'm much happier. My spray for the toggle switch, yeah. I call it my bag of tricks. My Felix bag of tricks. So, again, only guitar players would understand that. And, you know, your stash of guitar strings and your empty cases. Though, well, for the most part, those are all for sale, but I've got, like, all the cases in here are probably empty. I've got 1 or 2 under the bed. I think 1 or 2 over there are actually empty. But from that to those in there and to what's under the bed kind of thing. I'm sure everyone can relate to. So that's it. I just wanted to do something more with this 1992 Gibson Les Paul Studio Lite. All original, and it's got a ebony fingerboard. It's got mother of pearl trapezoid inlays, 22 nickel frets, and for a guitar that's, you know, over 30 years old, the fingerboard on here and the frets is just immaculate. The open humbucking pickups. I did change the knobs, and then I thought I missed these knobs. I thought that they fit the guitar so well. And it's actually one of the only ones that I have that come up like this, because I really don't care for these. But they just, when I put the fatter knobs on here, no matter what I put on here, they just didn't look right. So I had to change it back. 2-piece real maple top. It's got some bird's eye spots in there. It's just hard to see. And there is the back. And those are the original tuners, which I hate because they're stiff as heck to turn, and they don't stay in tune. I was going to take a pair off of another guitar, but I realized after I said it that they're not gold. These are gold. I can almost guarantee, I didn't really play this like I normally do. See, it's out of tune. Yep. Not the D string, and not the B. Wow, and not the E. So, 3 out of 6. 3 out of 6 ain't bad. Yep. And that's why I don't like the tuners. So, and I hate to change it because it's all original, but you know, I want a guitar that, and I checked the tuning before I played it, and I want a guitar that's going to stay in tune. So, like Gary Moore, I should just say, you know, the heck with it, and just put Grovers on there, or locking Grovers. Even better, no more winding, tying a knot. So thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good day, and better tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the video.